How you doing, everyone? Zaymot here again. And today we are going to add Lieutenant Griffin to my small world. Before we open this guy up, let me tell you a little bit about the upcoming releases that are up for pre-order right now. Big Bad Toy Store is the exclusive retailer for the Fresh Monkey Fiction World of Eagle Force toy line. The upcoming wave has 12 different characters from across a broad spectrum of their sublines. So please click the link below and go and check out what's coming up next from the lines of Blade Cut Both Ways, Eagle Force Returns, the Liberty Legion, the Star Commanders, Voyagers, and Monster Force. Speaking of Monster Force, let's get back to the review. So let's take a look at the packaging here for Mr. Griffin. Fresh Monkey Fiction started doing something different with this last wave that they released. Some of the figures got put into these boxes instead of the traditional blister card. And we did get a lot of the blister cards with this particular wave, but with the Monster Force figures and a few others, they got put into these boxes. And you know what? I gotta tell you, I'm a fan. On the front flap, you've got this logo with the Monster Force, the World of Eagle Force, and an unbelievable piece of artwork. I mean, I would pay for something like that to be framed in my house. That is just fantastic. No one would know it's for a toy line, right? So they're all printed on this flap that closes with Velcro, and if you open it up, you can see the figure inside, but we'll get to that in a minute. So you've got on the side here the logo once again from the World of Eagle Force, Monster Force, the character's name, Lieutenant Griffin the Eraser, written vertically down the side. Then you have the Roman numeral number 3, which tells you that this is the third figure in this particular series. Flipping around to the back, once again, you've got the logo at the top, but then you have a write-up explaining to you the basis and foundation of the Monster Force storyline. Underneath, you have a cross-cell that shows you the characters that are coming up. You have Declan Van Helsing, the Forgotten King, our boy, the Eraser here, who's number 3. Delta Red, who is the one I'm most looking forward to. I mean, Vampire Commandos. Yeah, sign me up for that. We've got Agent Grimm, who we have had released before, but I'm expecting a re-release and putting him into the more paranormal or supernatural vein. And then we've got the Kilowog. Now the Kilowog here, if you look, this is a very interesting picture because we've had the Kilowog before. It came out in the same series, but it was under the Crimson Moon moniker. This one is under the Monster Force label, and I'm assuming that we're going to get a more feral looking type of werewolf character instead of the red uniformed minions that we got in the first time, right? Then you flip around on this side and it's more of the same. You've got Operation Monster Force, Lieutenant Griffin the Eraser, and the Fresh Monkey Fiction logo, where the Roman numeral 3 was on the other side. Now, when you open this up, this is just spectacular. I mean, that is great presentation. The figure is standing there, very well done. Pops out of the package at you, and on the inside, you've got this comic. Now, this comic gives you the rundown. The little brief intro that I gave you at the beginning is taken directly from this comic book. So this comic page is really well done. I love the way the art looks. It's kind of got a pseudo-modern antique look to it. It looks like something straight out of the late 80s, early 90s. So I'm a big fan of this, and I know that they've already released a Monster Force comic, and I sincerely hope that they go ahead and continue forward with that. If they can find funding, I'm telling you, keep your eyes open for a Monster Force and Eagle Force comic Kickstarter or fundraiser. Join it. You won't be disappointed. This is a great storyline. So let's take a look and let's get him out of the package. Okay, once you get the figure out of his little cardboard coffin, you're left with this. You've got the figure in a double clamshell, and then behind him, you have this cardboard insert. Now, I don't know that I am going to use this for a background, but you certainly could. I mean, this artwork is just top-notch. It looks like a Victorian lab straight out of The Invisible Man, or maybe even Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, which is a character I really hope they get to at some point, because that would be pretty freaking awesome. So I don't have to make a decision about that right now, but it is something to consider, maybe building something for this to slide into that makes more of a display-worthy piece. Then you come to the figure, who, as I said, is in this plastic clamshell. It's got a top and a bottom to keep everything nice and secure. And then you've got the obligatory Eagle Force stand, the figure himself, and his baggie of weapons and accessories. So let's take a look and see what we get. And here you have Lieutenant Griffin with all of his gear in his glorious goodness. Now, it is my sad responsibility to report to you, dear viewers, that there was a slight quality control snafu with my particular release. You can see in front of you that the character has 3 sets of hands. In this case, I only have 5 of the 6 necessary. My particular release came with 2 copies of the right fist. I do not have a left fist. So I'm going to reach out to Fresh Monkey Fiction. I'm fairly sure that they're going to be able to go ahead and make this right. They're a good group. So we'll start with the hands since we're talking about the hands right now. So you get left, in theory, and right fists that are on a horizontal hinge. You also receive left and right C-grip hands for gripping swords, knives, or in this case of the Monster Force, McGee's torches and pitchforks. And they are on a vertical hinge. Then you have the grasping hands that can be used for gesturing or, holding up your favorite skull. Alas, poor Yorick. The character also comes with this rifle, and I'm not particularly sure which rifle this is, but it's got some red paint on it. It looks a little more defined than some of the previous releases from Eagle Force. It looks very, very good. I'm very impressed with the new rifle that they came up with. He also comes with this silver handgun, and it looks to me like a Colt 45 military issue since World War I. Well, I believe World War I, World War II. The character also comes with these super duper tiny little ringlets. Now, these go on the forearms when you change out the wrists. They're supposed to mimic the top of the glove. So it looks like the gloves are going up onto the forearm. It kind of completes the look. The character also comes with these really awesome goggles. Now, I love these. I'd love to see these re-released in something a little more, sinister looking, maybe black with some acid green lenses or something like that, just to go ahead and make it a little more sinister. But these look really steampunky. You got the bronze or copper frames with the red lenses and the brown leather strap on the back. These things just look great. And unlike some of the previous releases for Eagle Force figures that had goggles and visors and such, these have a very, very supple and soft strap. In previous releases, the strap was very stiff, and over time they became brittle, and I've had a few of mine snap. So the fact that these are very supple is very, very good news indeed. Now, the character also comes with an alternate head, showing that he needs to be wrapped up to be seen. And that is extremely well done. The paint is just absolutely spectacular. The detail of the bandages looks great. And if you look really closely, you can see that those eyes, here, let's turn it upside down. Let's see if we can get a little light shining in there. You can see that those eyes are translucent. The head's actually made out of a transparent plastic, so that you can go ahead and see through to the back of the head. Really, really well done. Okay, so let's take a look at the figure himself. The figure comes out of the package wearing this head. I really like it. I think they did a great job here. Fresh Monkey Fiction, kudos to you for creating a translucent head and then covering it partially with paint, so it looks like he had makeup on to disguise his translucence, and then it's been partially wiped off. Very reminiscent of the old Claude Rains movie and the Invisible Man series. The figure does have this blue jumpsuit with the brown vest, knee pads, and that particular color continues on down here into the boots, which are painted at base a much darker brown color. And you know what? I'm not a real big fan of blue, and I really hate brown, but with the subdued nature of these colors, it just really works well. I mean, it's a great palette for this particular type of character. So going over the figure's articulation, he has a barbell head, and he can go 360 degrees, look down about that far, and looks up at about a straight angle, or maybe even a little less than that. And that's an unfortunate thing, and that's something with these modern action figures that I really take issue with. If you look at the way this torso is designed, you can see on the neck, the actual base of the neck as it comes out of the torso is jutting forward. It almost looks like he has a hunchback. And because of that design choice, the barbell joint inside of the neck hole can go down quite a bit, but it can't move up. And unfortunately, because of the way the heads are designed to accept the ball for the barbell, unless you carve out the back of the head, you're just never going to get any kind of upward viewing for that character. And this particular one, it's not such a bad thing, but on characters like Stryker, who's a sniper, or like Bullet Man, who, he flies using a jetpack, they really should be able to look up so they can go into a prone position and still be able to maintain some kind of line of sight. At any rate, the figure also has a vertical hinge joint at the shoulder, which also has a 360-degree rotation. There is a 90-degree bend at the elbow, which also has a 360-degree rotation. As I said earlier, he comes with the trigger figure hands mounted to the figure right out of the box, which has a vertical hinge and a 360-degree rotation. The character has a torso swivel that's akin to the old school G.I. Joe O-ring ball joint at the waist, which allows a pretty decent amount of motion. He has barbell hips, which allows him to do the splits a la Jean-Claude Van Damme. The character also has a thigh rotation, which on this particular figure is a little bit tighter than some of the other ones that I've seen. He has a double knee joint, which I really like, especially because of the knee pad. It helps to hide that awkward looking knee joint that happens with these double joints. He has a rotation at the boot cut, dorsiflexation, and an ankle pivot. All in all, I think this figure is really, really well done. I also would like to point out this holster here on this side. In comparison to the older Eagle Force figures, this is made of a much softer, more rubbery plastic. It's not as rigid. And when you take and you put the weapon in there, it really grips onto that weapon. You don't have any issues, which some of the older Eagle Force figures, if you turn them upside down, or heaven forbid they take a header off your shelf, that gun is a goner. It's not going to stay in there. So that is my review of the Eraser, Lieutenant Merrick Griffin. All in all, I think this figure is extremely well done, and if you guys can go ahead and find one, I highly recommend picking them up. As of this recording, on October 11th, 2025, Fresh Monkey Fiction has restocked their store, which now has both the Eraser, Declan Van Helsing, and a plethora of other figures from the 2024 release that they've restocked over there. Go and check them out. This is Zaymot. I thank you for watching, and remember, we do not stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing. So play with your toys.